Welcome to Think Entertainment. Today I'll be discussing the life of the three brothers, also known as the creators of the Deathly Hallows, or the Peveril brothers, Antioch, Cadmus and Ignotus. They are believed by some to be the subject of wizarding legend, the tale of the three brothers. Each possessed one of the Deathly Hallows, Antioch the Elder Wand, Cadmus the Resurrection Stone, and Ignotus the Cloak of Invisibility, and together they make one, the Master of Death. The Peveril brothers were born prior to 1914, but the exact date is unfortunately unknown, along with their parents' names. But we know that they were born in Godric's Hollow, a wizarding town located in the west of England. The Peveril brothers were also purebloods, as Peveril was a medieval pureblood family name. The three brothers were likely to attend Hogwarts since it was founded in 990 AD. We do not know what houses they were in, so I'm going to give my opinion based on their personality and what I think they would value. Firstly, the oldest brother, Antioch, was extremely ambitious and desired beyond everything to be an all-powerful wizard. Although he was very talented, he was not satisfied, and with cunning, which led him to gain a wand from death that would make him unbeatable. Because of this, I'm going to place him in Slytherin House. The middle brother is Cadmus Peveril. He was described as being an arrogant man, and his ambition and cunning led him to create an object that he believed would further push the boundaries of magic and defying nature by not accepting death, so I also place Cadmus in Slytherin House. The youngest of the brothers, Ignotus, was described as the wisest of them, and wasn't seeking out glory or fortune. For these reasons, I believe he would be in Ravenclaw House. Now I will look at their individual lives in more detail. But like Dumbledore, I believe it far more likely the three Peveril brothers created the Hallows and the legend to be merely a story, partially inspired by their nature, which would explain how Cadmus had a child despite the legend implying he committed suicide soon after obtaining the stone, and how Ignotus had a child to inherit his possessions, with the legend implying he hid from death for the rest of his life soon after obtaining the cloak. So I believe that they were just extremely powerful wizards who created the Deathly Hallows themselves. The eldest brother Antioch, like his brothers, was skilled in the magical arts, but personally was described as a combative man. Most likely through years of work he created the most powerful wand in existence, and is said to be unbeatable in combat. The Elder Wand contains thestral tail hair as its core, a substance that those who are capable of accepting and not afraid of death could handle, and of course Elderwood. Antioch's desire for such power made him blind to what his actions could lead him to, as he later proved to be very self-indulgent and weak-willed when he boasted about how powerful his new wand was to the public after murdering a wizard without hesitation, as he believed he was invincible. Antioch was very irresponsible and unwise in this manner, consuming a dangerous amount of alcohol when leaving his wand and himself unprotected on the night of his murder. Antioch's recklessness and egotism caused him to be the first of the Peverils to die without marrying or having a child. His death was prior to the 19th of May 1292 and was murdered in the Wizarding Inn, England, and was later buried in the churchyard by the parish church of St Clementine in Godric's Hollow. Moving on to Cadmus Peveril. The middle of the Peveril brothers, like his brother, was also talented, but personally was described as being an arrogant man. However, sometimes in his early life, Cadmus fell in love with a woman, and the two were engaged to be married. However, she died before this union could take place. Despite his fiancée dying, Cadmus was able to father an heir. Whether it was with this woman, and she died in or after childbirth, or with another woman, is unknown. But I think she would have died after childbirth, and giving Cadmus an heir is what happened, because I don't think he would have been able to move on and decided to try and bring her back to life from the dead instead. He was also incredibly devoted to his fiancée even after she died, as he pushed the boundaries of magic and went past the laws of nature and death, and used the resurrection stone to bring her back to life. However, he soon found she had not been truly revived. She appeared sad and cold, and he felt as if a veil still separated them. Driven mad with longing, Cadmus committed suicide so as to truly be reunited with his lost love. Interestingly, the symbols of his brother's creations, the Elder Wand and the Cloak of Invisibility, along with his own, the Resurrection Stone, are etched into the stone, showing that he had respect for his brothers and their work. Following his death, Cadmus was laid to rest in the churchyard by the parish church of St. Clementine in Godric's Hollow, along with his brother Antioch. The youngest of the three brothers, Ignotus, was also described as the humblest and wisest of them all. Ignotus's humble nature ultimately proved vastly more successful than that of his brothers. According to legend, Ignotus was a very nice, modest and humble young man. He was therefore far more shrewd, and was the only one of the three to see through death's perception. Ignotus had a rather joyful and peaceful life, unlike his brothers. As such, he lived for several years with no quarrels or worries, and raised a family, marrying and having a son. Ignotus had no regrets. He died at the age of 76 years old, dying on the 19th of May 1292 in his birthplace of Godric's Hollow, and was buried in the churchyard by the parish church of St. Clementine with his two older brothers, and having the Deathly Hallows engraved on his tombstone beneath his name. So, what exactly happened to each of the brothers' creations after their death? For Antioch, the Elder Wand is splattered across the pages of wizarding history, as it passed through violent means as people sought after its power and committed violent acts to claim the wand for themselves. Unlike the Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone and the Invisibility Cloak were handed down through the Gaunt and Potter family lines, respectively. The Resurrection Stone was passed from Cadmus to his son, and had only female heirs, so married into the Gaunt family, and would go on to be set into a ring, which would be passed down through the Gaunt family and eventually be turned into a Horcrux by Tom Riddle, a distant descendant of Cadmus. The last of the Deathly Hallows, the Cloak of Invisibility, was passed down from Ignotus to his son, who had only female heirs, so married into the Potter family, so was passed down to the Potter family, and eventually to Harry Potter. This is just another connection in the wizarding world, as both Voldemort and Harry are related, and are both descendants of the three brothers, the creator of the Deathly Hallows. The story of the three brothers ends as Harry Potter stops them ever being reunited again. The stone is pressed into the ground of the Forbidden Forest. The Elder Wand has no true master after Harry, and is placed in Dumbledore's tomb, and the Invisibility Cloak continues to be passed down in the Potter family. Before you leave, I would like to say a huge thank you for watching. Like the video if it deserves it, and please subscribe and help the channel grow. New videos coming soon.